Just beyond the art exhibit, this is the Ejido Park. All along Amazonas are the Indian crafts. Oh, and here's one of those double-decker buses. They have a rule that they only let as many people on as there are empty seats. You can probably find just about everything here right in the middle of Quito, as you can in Otavalo or all the other Indian markets. Of course, the price is just slightly higher. And very pleasant sidewalk cafes along Amazonas. And now for an aerial view of Amazonas and the city. There's quite a number of volcanoes all around Quito. There's one in the distance. We are now at the north end of Amazonas. Relatively speaking, the traffic is not too bad. Really a lot better than Bogota or Caracas. Of course, Quito is a much smaller city. It's only a little less than 1 million, whereas both Caracas and Bogota are around 5 to 7 million or so. We are now at the Bosque shopping center, the largest one in Quito. And from up here we also get a very nice view of the city. There's nothing old-fashioned about this center. Of course, the contrasts are quite interesting. Yeah, the Halloween theme has been picked up. And it's lunchtime. We make a little stop at the buffet luncheon at the Cologne Hotel. Are you from? Carne molida de res.
Look at the spread something. Okay, well.
A little music to go with the lunch. Oh, and by the way, the price for this spread is $5 per person. It's getting my way.
Mi pobre vida que es para ti.
Back to the hotel now for a little siesta. The hotel is on a quiet little street just off of Amazonas. So it's very central and yet not at all busy or noisy. Wonderful hardwood floors everywhere. Everything is kept just spotlessly clean. And there's a heater in the room, which seems to be the custom in Quito hotels. Much nicer than in Bogota. The rooms are so darn cold. Tiled bathroom with lots of light, also lots of hot water. An excellent value at $12 per day. Now, it was not actually all that easy to find this place. It took quite a bit of looking. And it is somewhat unique in Quito. But it's not all that difficult to find good places.
And he always releases the females if they have eggs. He knows enough about it.
And here we are now in the lovely little town of Baños, somewhat south of Quito. Kind of the gateway to the Amazon.
Now?
I have all these sounds of slapping.
Ouch!
Proceeding up the trail from the village of Baños to the teeny little hamlet of Runtun, we're now well above the village. Of course, an easier way to get up here is on horseback. From up here we got this great aerial view of our hotel, the Hotel Shanghai, and just next to it are the hot springs and very hot pool and cold pool. And here's the source of that music we've been hearing. Some sort of procession. These firecrackers that keep going off every once in a while are in celebration of the local virgin. This area is supposed to have miraculous waters, and it's also known as waters of the Virgin. There is the cemetery, which is quite a little city in itself.
Depend too much on that pulling yourself up. And then stay close to the horse and push up and forward. 1, 2, 3, up, all the way over. Good. Better than that this time. Okay. There you go. You're welcome. Yeah.
Going down the road are these lawyers and nurse from New York. People over here
Enjoying their vacation.
who are enjoying their vacation, having fun with the mosquitoes. Also Americans. And then a couple of Swiss people who act like the Indians. They don't want their picture taken. And here we are now at Runtun, at the top of our hike, which was about an hour and a half. Not really strenuous, just moderately so. Of course, that's a church. There's a schoolhouse. Little tienda to get your cold soda. Local burro. Voila. A few chickens running around. Some beautiful views on the way back down to the village. Also a little windy, but it sure feels nice. It's quite hot. back in town now after a 3.5-hour hike. Here's the source of all that music we were hearing during the hike. Some sort of celebration. And we stop now for a little lunch at this German restaurant. Well, we have left Baños this morning for a 5.5-hour trip to Tena. Well, might be a little bit longer than 5.5 hours. Of course, that's part of traveling around here. You gotta have an adventurous spirit and a lot of patience. After a long 5.5-hour drive to Tena plus another hour or so, we have now arrived at Puerto Misawali, the gateway to the jungle and the river trips. And here we have to register with the army or somebody. And that's the river, Rio Napo. We'll be taking one of these canoes to the Hotel Anaconda just as soon as the formalities are done. And that's the canoe we're going to be taking. Looks seaworthy enough.
Aquí pásale la mano. Ya, ya. Ya. Ellos también son.
And we're off. Apparently they're looking for gold right here. This is far more pleasant than the crowded buses we've been on. Looks like we have arrived.
Rocky that.
And this is Don Benigno, the administrator, who was also our companion coming here on the canoes. Well, there isn't going to be any problem about finding monkeys around here. This is an ugly looking thing. Probably an anteater. And these are our quarters. The rooms certainly are rustic. Oh yes, there is no electricity anywhere. Therefore the candles. The bathroom is tight and functional. No hot water, of course, just running cold water. They are so polite. First excursion of the day.
Getting boots was a good choice.
Having walked across that pebble beach, we're now back on the boat. The purpose of that exercise was to avoid those rapids that apparently are kind of dangerous. Drop off our passengers here. And this is the land portion of our excursion. You might call it the jungle portion. Well, there is some wildlife around here.
Jungle cow? I don't think so. In film history.
The booths, by the way, are provided by the Hotel Anaconda.
Yeah.
And would you?
No, I wouldn't. Once was enough. Oh!
Never enough light for me.
I didn't go anywhere, you guys. George of the jungle. Okay.
Jeff ready. Don't hurry.
No, I want to reach up higher and if I lose it, I'll lose it.
Hang tight just a minute.
Somebody get the picture of this!
Hold tight, hold tight. You got it.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Sable?
Sable.
Sable.
Sí.
También en la costa, yo creo.
Sí, en la costa no hay. Bejuco.
Es un tipo de... Ese se llama bejuco.
Sí.
Todo clase se llama bejuco.
Sí.
Ay, es pescado bejuco. Muy bien.
And here we are in a clearing in the middle of the jungle, which is used for the local schoolhouse.
Que reconozca algo para más después.
Pedro.
And here at the school we're offered some chicha. Of course, this was after having been blackmailed into paying some money for crossing the bridge that they have built for us. And now we stop for lunch at the Ritz.
nomás, ahora. Aquí nomás, dos.
Trabaja en Marta.
¿Cómo?
Sí,
And this is the local ceramics maker.
recién trabajando ahorita.
Una pinakushallaraw hindi ko naman dahil kay si Manawa siya man kwaktak tagali. Ay, siya ko nang shit ko sa skitang chita pa hirko siya. Sinapi ka.
Solamente es que está recién pintando.
Yeah.
Esas salen pinturas.
And there's the kill, or some sort of kill.
What did she have?
And this is the dining room of another hotel in the area. It's the Jaguar Hotel, or Jaguar. It's a great place to come in from the rain, and it is pouring outside. Here's one of the rooms. And this one has electricity as well. Tell me this isn't rigged.
Yeah, it. And when you get on the bus,
Ankle's getting bruised, you know, the way it does with the...
Oh, with your hiking boots?
Virgin a pineapple.
And here's some coffee. And some pineapple. Undoubtedly, somebody has planted the stuff here. It's not indigenous. Coffee blossoms.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. The color.
Tienen huecos bastante por acá.
How about your stove?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're on the way home now. It's about 5:30. We left this morning about 9, so it's been a full day. We have again picked up those same passengers we had this morning. Well, we've made it back. Everybody is a little wetter, a little tireder, a little more tired, and a whole lot more dirty. But all in all, an interesting day in the jungle. for a change, a little welcome sun. A chance to get our clothes semi-dry. Dry boots are very important for a nice comfortable day. Until the next puddle anyway. Everything is so much nicer in full sun. It feels so much better.
Quantos são lá dentro?
Ser bastante. Many. Millones de
Well, we haven't seen any big wild animals yet, but here's a print of a tiger that was made probably just this morning. From the looks of it, it's a big guy. One of the advantages of a nice hot day in the jungle.
Spread your legs. No, I'm serious. Spread your legs.
Today's lunch break is back at the hotel.
tuna fish wrapped up in egg with tomato sauce.
He heard about it. He heard that I went there.
Gracias.
Not too bad for lunch at the jungle. And here we're going to check out the making of the chicha, which is an alcoholic drink made from yucca.
Y ahí ponen la yuca, y ahí empieza a machucar con ese muco de la madera, de la bamba misma. Como están bien civilizados, ya no quieren. Así le cocinan, le sirven en una cernidora y con eso sueltan el agua.
And that was to grind it up as well as to, I think, help the fermentation process. But he says now they're civilized, so they don't do it anymore. So now they do it this way, and then they put it through a strainer. Cernidora is a strainer, and then it has to sit 3 days, and it's ready.
They add liquid or it sits. Y se le lava.
That's a yucca root. And the yucca is mixed in with this other root right here, and the whole thing is fermented. Now that's the chicha has been fermented in the big vat, and then she puts it in that small container and adds water and just kind of mashes it. And there's the finished product, ready to get drunk on. The sabo tree. This one is about 160 years old.
Le hace así, y esto le ponen vuelta alrededor. Y esto es un pinchecito que se le estaba indicando allá en el
And this is the dart maker.
bamba.
He makes these little darts and then impregnates them with poison. And that's how he hunts his birds and small animals. There's the blowgun.
Hecho un canalito de ambos lados. Entonces unió y puso la brea por aquí. Entonces aquí mete la flecha de para la papaya.
Two dead animals.
You've had it at bank.
I've tried, but I was thinking about it first. It's gonna hit something over there.
He's looking for it to come from over here? ¿Qué fue?
This is the Hotel Alinya Hui, the third one of the three hotels in this area. We have just arrived and we're going to go off on another excursion with them. We'll look at the hotel a little later.
Das könnten wir doch fotografieren, oder?
Ja.
They call it banana plant. Looks to me like a bird of paradise.
Very nice.
Hier.
Ist giftig? Ist giftig?
Nein, das kann man essen. Nee, so nicht, aber das mischt man mit dem Reis.
Aber es spiegelt sich dann.
Wie heißen die Dinger?
Achote. They can use it for the rice, to paint the rice.
It's not permanent. Hält sich
No.
Schön?
In 3 Tagen geht's weg.
In 3 lacht das ist was zurecht.
Nein. Für heute Abend ist schon weg.
Of course, these are the local
In
Indians.
Santo Domingo. In Santo Domingo.
They look a little German, but they're actually very Indian.
The people.
Du musst jetzt.
Nein, das ist ganz neu.
Das ist so gut. Wie lange hält es sich, meinst du?
Das?
Fängt es an zu fahren?
Das trocknet aus.
Trocknet aus?
Ja,
Wie
ja.
lange?
In einer Woche so.
Ja. Dann kriege ich keine Farbe mehr raus.
Doch? Nee, da müssen wir ein bisschen mit Wasser.
Und 400 ASA drin. Wenn das kann, ich habe einen Auftrag von
Eine State im Badezimmer.
Ja.
Two women in white shorts. They came very black.
Ja, ja. Oh. Ach, weg, klar.
Direkt
Right.
Flug kostet 50 mehr.
That's
Lass es mich
floripondio.
jetzt bitte genießen, Mann.
When you smell it about 5-6 minutes, you can have very good dreams tonight.
Erstmal, bevor du diese Passage machst. Wenn du noch weißt, was er für eine tolle Frau ist.
Okay, eben. Im Dschungel.
Hängt ihr dann in
Mary,
der Praxis
guck
auf?
mal.
Ja. Darf man sich da
Have a look.
draufsetzen?
Das kann brechen.
Bekommt, wenn
Also
ich
Maike, jetzt musst du hinfallen. Ja?
jetzt, ist eigentlich eins meiner leichtesten Übungen sozusagen.
Mensch, Maike. Das ist ja irre. Was du
jetzt.
für Gleichgewichtsstörungen weg. Und da hat er nachts gearbeitet.
I think we're lost.
Weißt du was? Im Wintergarten vielleicht.
You're right.
This is how they preserve the meat. This is cooked pork. Time for a swim.
Time for swim. Listo para playa.
Vamos a la playa.
We're back at the Alinawi now, feeding the little monkeys. What's the name of these little monkeys?
Chichicos.
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 And they eat insects, huh?
Well, they eat
bugs.
Just about. They eat other things too. But they enjoy these grasshoppers. Yeah.
Like potato chips for us.
Well, probably not come.
Well, it's a nice swimming pool.
And we're stopping now for a little lunch at the Alinawi's lunchroom. Sure. Buffet lunch. What's down there, Robin?
It looks like pork, yeah. Rice, beans, cucumbers. Quite a feast.
Margaret and Peter.
Yeah. Oh, Juanita's head.
And Juanita's head.
Lemonade.
Margaret is Cuban and Peter is German.
Yes, sir.
And they've just opened Alinawi last December, right?
That's right.
Wollen Sie gar nicht schwimmen?
Ich? Nee.
Keine Zeit. Jetzt nicht.
Okay.
Come over here and then I'll show you why it is called Alinawi. Come.
There is the view.
Yeah.
And the name is Alinawi again, which means what?
Nice view.
In what language?
Quechua.
Which is the local Indian language.
Local Indian way to speak.
And there they are, the complete family. This is one of the cabins. There's a room on each side. And each room is for 2 people. Hammocks downstairs. Nice little balcony upstairs.
Where you can see it.
Another fabulous view from the balcony.
Yeah.
And let me add that the owner here, Peter, is German. And the owner's boss, his wife, Margaret, is Cuban. And the son, Frieden, who's obviously half and half, and he's also the guide, and a great guide at that.
His name is Fred. He isn't so peaceful.
He's not so peaceful, even though his name means peaceful, huh?
Well, we discussed it for a long time, what kind of lighting we would have to have, and we finally decided for solar power, principally because we don't want to have the noise of the generator in the evening, but also for other economic reasons, because down here evidently it's very hard to have a generator fixed and it needs a lot of fuel. So we thought that in spite of the investment which solar power still means, we decided to have it. And I have to say we're not sorry, and our guests so far have appreciated this effort
Great.
of ours.
Why don't you turn it on for us?
So, and we also use it for refrigeration.
And the batteries.
Has a subsystem of its own.
The bathrooms are private, but they are separated from the room.
And I think that the bathrooms are quite spacious and
on the way back to Quito now, we pass by the volcano Sumaco. Cuenca, a very charming town that has kept a lot of its colonial heritage. Many of the streets are cobblestone. A lot of old, very well preserved buildings. Of course, a lot of churches. That's the new cathedral off the main square. It was finished not too long ago, and it took about 100 years to build. A lot of the streets are cobblestone, just like this one. This gorgeous building is just a bank, Bank of Azuay. The main plaza with the new cathedral in the background. That's the old cathedral on the other side of the main plaza. A lot of marble is used throughout the public monuments. There is a marble quarry not far from Cuenca. And at the other corner of the main plaza is the Supreme Court building, another grand old building. The new cathedral is a truly huge building. Difficult to find an angle to get all of it in the shot. The interior of the church, it's unfortunately a little dark, so we can't quite make out the splendor of it all. Imagine though that most of the columns and walls are marble. And that gives you an idea. Of course, just outside the church are vendors of religious materials. Just around the corner from the new cathedral is the flower market. In front of yet another church. This one is the Church of San Francisco.
Tengo 80 días.
¿Cómo se llama? Loreta. Loreña. Hola, Loreña. He's had a rough night. And just around the corner from the flower market is the Indian Artifacts Market. The fruit juice lady.
A ver, acá está haciendo salir el pajarito.
Buenos días, Dios.
Era en el antiguo.
We're now headed towards another part of Cuenca, the river's edge. Of course, the river is always a good spot for doing your laundry. That guy down there must be a bachelor, probably the first male person we've seen doing laundry. A very pleasant walkway. The city planners even saw fit to have some benches for viewing the river. There are some lovely houses along the river's edge. Of course, they managed to cheapen it with the Coca-Cola tents. And here's an impromptu art gallery right by the river. And also by the river's edge is this small remnant of an Inca ruin. Continuing our walk down the river, here are the first llamas we've seen on the strip.
Oh shoot.
And at the Museum of the Central Bank, here are some more Inca ruins being excavated. And this is the museum, inside the museum of the Central Bank. Here's a picture of the wall that's just outside where we just saw those 3 or 4 llamas running around or walking around. On the second floor of the museum is this art gallery. And from the museum we get another nice view of the new cathedral. And here's a cute little place for a light lunch. So what's in there?
Nuts and fresh fruit, grapes, yogurt. We can have a look at our hotel now. It's a 9-story building.
with its restaurant at the top floor, the real good view of the city. And this is the top floor restaurant. With a great view of the city. A well-furnished bar. Of course, it's empty at lunchtime, but again, it's got a beautiful view.
You say,
Well, hello there, and where are we here?
very nice. My name is Horace Desian. I'm Italian. I'm the general manager of these hotels. This is our conference meeting salon. It's comfortable with carpets, color TV, and everything what are in modern hotels must be gathered. We are very happy to get you here maybe in the next times, and I hope so that our people that they come in here, they're going to be very happy to be in this city.
And now for the most important part, the room itself. It's got excellent lighting. Color TV. Direct dial telephone. The bed is, well, it's called a bed for two people, but it's a little on the narrow side. Be good for two small people, though, or two friendly people. The view is really quite good. The bathroom also has very good lighting. And a good size shower stall with lots of hot water. This is certainly one of the best values in town, since the complete cost of the room is just $12 a night for two people. Outside of Quito, about an hour and a half drive, is the village of Cañar, where we have stopped to look at the market. We're actually on the way to probably the only substantial Inca ruin in Ecuador, which is Ingapirca. The Cañar people have this rather unique hat, which apparently is only worn in this town.
I bought some in Costa Rica and brought it back to the States with me. She's kind of cute.
Dai, non stai sempre, io te vedo un po'. These are little guinea pigs, a real delicacy around here. And here we are at Ingapirca, the Inca ruins of Ecuador. See? Okay.
What did you say?
We can get closer, it's okay.
Can we pet them? Oh, bueno.
Yo les ayudo nomás. Vamos si quiere ahora. La vuelta.
Well, he said that these circular things here, the cañaris, used as like silos for the corn and the grains, and they were much taller and they had a top. And that, for example, these in straw, thatch on the top. And I didn't quite hear how many people lived inside. Did you catch that?
Well, nobody lived here. This was a temple to the moon.
Oh, it was only the temple, okay.
And it was just for the priests.
Yeah, because it was only for somebody, and it was the priest. Okay.
And what we're looking at here is the Cañaris buildings, which predate the Inca buildings. And these are from about 3,500 years ago.
My goodness.
And they were only discovered in 1975 or so. The far off buildings over there are the Inca buildings that are only about 1,000 years old. Sacrificial altar, and we'll sacrifice the Cañaris women right there and then bury them in that pebbly area in the back there. And apparently they found a good dozen bodies that were full of bracelets and necklaces and what have you.
Esa gente que hacía esa forma de teatro dice que se llamaban arábicos. Arábicos. Sí.
This is one of the ritual baths where the priests would bathe before the ceremonies, and the water would run down the little spigot right there. Oh, well, not spigot, but little.
Actually, it's quite distinct.
Yeah, distinct.
For this time, having passed.
Mark in the rock, and the water came from the other bath up above. Oh, that baby one is real tame.
Oh, with the mama. That's so cute. You get too many.
And now we are at the main Inca building. This area in front of the main building was reserved for the welcoming of the king, who did not actually live here. Well, the monarch, the Inca king, who did not live here but visited once in a while. And there were a total of 3 kings. I'm not even going to try to reproduce the names. ¿Cómo se llama el primer monarca?
El primer monarca dicen que se llamaba Manco Cápac y su esposa era Mama Oglo.
¿Y el segundo?
Ellos aparecieron en el lago Titicaca en el siglo X más o menos.
¿Y el segundo monarca?
El segundo dice que era Sinchi Roca.
Ajá.
De memoria todos no sé, uno de ellos se llamaba Huiracocha, otro se llamaba Pachacuti.
¿Eso es el tercero?
No puedo decir en orden, no sé de memoria.
Oh, ok.
Sí, pero el monarca que llegó a...
¿Qué era el nombre de...?
Tupac Yupanqui.
Tupac Yupanqui. Oh,
was the conqueror here, the first one?
Y el otro era Huayna Cápac. Y el último Atahualpa.
Y Atahualpa es el hermano de Huáscar. And they had a war with each other.
Huáscar es hijo de una mujer del Cusco, de la propia mujer de Huayna Cápac. Y Atahualpa de una mujer de Quito. casas comunes del pueblo.
The architecture is a little bit mixed here, where on one side we have the rocks that did not use any mortar. On the other side, they did use mortar. These are the houses, or the remnants of the houses, of the Vestal Virgins that were the servants of the sun god. This being, of course, the temple of the sun god. And this one house is the only one that still remains with its walls intact. The construction is such that the walls are not vertical, but they are in the shape of a pyramid. The corners have these stone anchors. This brace can be seen a little better. And the doorways are trapezoidal in shape. Now here's a good example of a wall that is the best quality of Inca wall. There is absolutely no mortar between the rocks, and the rocks are just polished and planed until they just fit perfectly. Also, the stones that we see here are not local stones. They were brought in from somewhere in the south, possibly from as far away as Cusco. The top part of this temple is shaped in the form of an ellipse, where the long axis is aligned with the east-west direction. That altar to the sun right there is said to have included a gateway portal through which the sun, the rising sun, would shine on a gold statue of the sun. Right here is where they had human sacrifices, and down right there is where they would have the blood flow, and the blood would flow right down into the ground itself. There was no exit out of that little hole right there. Just across from the Temple to the Sun, we're now on our way to what used to be the bath that the Inca monarch would use. And here's the bath that the Inca king would use. And up above it is sort of like a stone throne where he would just sit and admire the sunset and sunrise, and would also get this fantastic view of the surrounding countryside with the two rivers that run down the mountains from here. Down there is another rock with a seat carved in it. That was another throne type affair for the king. Apparently that spot right there is where the Inca king would toss off liars and thieves and so forth, and it would have a long way down. We are now in the town of Biblian, and that church up on the hill is the church of the Virgin of Rosillo. And it certainly looks like a fairy tale sort of church. Real Disneyland look. Now to the right of the church is that big rock formation which is known as the hill of Cojitambo. Now if that doesn't look like Half Dome, nothing does. And we're now just above that storybook church that we just saw a little while ago. As you can see, one of the walls of the church is the actual bare rock of the hill. Down at the bottom is the taxi that we have been using all day, who's waiting for us. Just below the church are these tombs in the wall. ¿Otra vez el nombre de esta iglesia?
El Santuario de la Virgen del Rocío.
All right. And we stop now for a little lunch at the Hosteria Ushupud near Paute. So how's the bathroom?
Very,
the most important
very
part.
U.S.
Very U.S.? All right.
So we've got a nice shower.
Most people do not associate Lima, Peru, with beaches. And yet, here it is. It is a warm climate in the summer period. However, in their winter, the coast is mostly in fog. So the beach season is only about 3 months long. The Miraflores area is one of the nice residential areas of Lima, with modern buildings and gardens along the ocean. the main plaza and garden in Miraflores. There's also an art exhibit on Sundays, actually most days. This is an interesting art form combining the traditional motif with very modern techniques, or style I should say. There's a tremendous number of VWs, many of which are taxis. This is one of the more residential neighborhoods of Lima, known as Puerto Libre. That's Pueblo Libre, actually. This is a particularly nice art form, quite common here. Little designs on gourds. At the Museum of Anthropology and Archaeology, here are the taxis arriving with tourists. This little piece is from 3,000 years before Christ. And here is a preview of things to come. This is a mock-up of the famous Machu Picchu. Paseo Colón, close to the center of Lima, is one of the wider avenues. With a number of interesting buildings. This one is the Museum of Art, Museum of Military History, Museum of Italian Art in the background. Just behind the museum is the Sheraton Hotel, kind of an ugly building. Just on the other side of the Sheraton is the Palace of Justice, or Supreme Court. Gorgeous. gorgeous wide avenues. Kind of a Parisian feeling to the city. This walkway is lined with statues of past and present heroes. Way in the background, that's just an office building. Certainly a gorgeous building for just offices. Here's a better view of that office building. And a closer view of the Supreme Court building. Even the Lima Sheraton doesn't look too bad up close. The Museum of Italian Art is a tiny building, but it's really quite gorgeous. What's happening here is the money changers who change dollars, from and to dollars at black market rate. It seems to be a tremendous business. There are hundreds of them all over the place, not only downtown, but in Miraflores and San Isidro, just everywhere. Another very pretty little plaza with a dating couple in front for a little added interest. The taxis in Lima, many of them have seen better days. Another grand plaza. This is Plaza San Martin. Beautiful buildings all around the plaza. And this is the Hotel Bolivar, a five-star hotel, or a hotel of high class anyway. That pedestrian street is Giron Union. It's basically a shopping street full of crowds. I think we'll avoid that just to stay on the safe side. The highlight of Lima, Plaza de Armas. The cathedral. Next to it, that building with very typical balconies from the colonial period. Presidential Palace. And the municipal building. As usual, we're doing our sightseeing on Sunday, which is a quiet day in most capitals, including here. There's only a few people on this plaza. We were here again on Thursday, and the place was quite packed. Right now it's inhabited mostly by shoeshine boys and people from the provinces who are visiting the capital, and of course foreign tourists. One of the safest areas around here, with lots of cops protecting us. One of them has already approached us, told us to be careful of the camera, in that there are lots of thieves around here. In point of fact, we have now been here a good 5 days. Have not had any trouble as far as being mugged or robbed. There has not been any revolution. We are yet to have been asked for any documents, papers, passports, whatever. Even though the guidebooks all warn that you should have your passport with you or else you'll end up in jail. All in all, everything is very quiet. Hardly any excitement, but certainly not the kind of excitement that would be at all pleasant. So just as happy that it is indeed quiet and peaceful. All this military police may give an air of, well, perhaps unrest, one might say, but it's also protection. There's a bevy of bugs, many of them taxis. On one of the corners of the plaza is this statue to Francisco Pizarro, the founder of Lima. The statue is impressive, however, it does need a little bit of a washing down. Those balconies are so very evocative of another era. The church and monastery of San Francisco is somewhat unique in that it includes catacombs down below the church where a lot of the common people have been buried. When the bones were uncovered, the scientists or archaeologists or whoever had the rather grim humor of arranging the bones in geometrical patterns. They're interesting in a kind of a weird way, but we're not going to bother looking at those grim humor statements. They're just too macabre. Since today happens to be the cameraman's birthday, your view of the hotel room that is of course just a bit special. Little impromptu surprise party for the cameraman. Ok, ahora.
Este es por su cumpleaños. Ya no tan cerca. Este es por su cumpleaños, por haber estado aquí con nosotros y para que tenga un lindo recuerdo de aquí del Perú. ¿Ya?
This is a nice little birthday surprise party by the management of the hotel. But the management of the hotel also speaks English. So what did you just say?
In English?
Of course.
That this is a gift for you because we want that you have a good remember from us in the United States.
Well, that's wonderful.
And this is a pisco sour, a Peruvian drink for you.
All right. And this is another one of the wonderful hotel employees. We are in the Hostal Oscar in Lima, in Miraflores, which is the absolute nicest hotel in Lima.
Te estaba diciendo que estaba en un hotel muy bonito que está en Miraflores y que lo usaba mucho, no sé qué cosa le puede decir. Que estamos contentos de tenerlo aquí.
Ah, claro, sí, estamos contentos, hospedados en el hostal. Esperamos que vuelva pronto. Usted y su señora.
Okay.
Excuse me. This. Thank you very much. What are you doing? It's on.
You've been very helpful.
Yes.
To us.
There is a lot of work in this moment. And only there are 3 persons, Marcela, Laura, and Ana.
When are you going to return to Peru?
For my next birthday.
Yes, are you sure? No, for your wife's birthday.
Okay.
In January.
You are Capricornio in the
Aquarius.
Aquarius, sí.
Go ahead. It's all right.
It's like normal day activities. Yeah. They are working.
I need to know your names. What names?
She's a working. Why am I late?
No. What is your name?
Marcela. My name is Marcela Mendoza.
Marcela Mendoza. And what is your name?
¿Cuál es tu nombre?
Mi nombre es Laura Cárcamo.
Okay.
Name is Mercedes Guerra.
And the young lady on the telephone is Marcela what? Marcela what?
Mercedes Guerra.
Guerra.
And I'm very happy that you and your wife stay here in your birthday.
That's wonderful. Thank you. En inglés, no, usted habla inglés.
This sculpture was made by a Peruvian sculptor. He lives here in Barranco, another district from Peru, and he has made many of these
Sculptures.
And here we have this one that is Quijote.
Don Quixote?
Quijote.
Aha.
And at the back we have a lion and a horse.
Don Quixote's horse?
No, not his horse.
Not his horse.
But it's a horse, a beautiful horse.
Just a horse.
Your wife has just seen it before.
Is he in battle?
Pardon?
Is he in battle? Is he in war?
Because one of
What a marvelous birthday surprise. All in all, Lima has been a very pleasant surprise all the way around. One of the highlights of South America is the town of Cusco. We are now just in the area of Cusco at what used to be a temple to the sun by the name of Sacsayhuaman, better known as Sexy Woman. Many of the original stones have been borrowed by the local people to build their houses with down in Cusco. The remaining stones are, of course, just the huge ones. Many of them are close to 300 tons. This stone on the right is said to be the biggest one around here.
There were some burials here.
Sí, hay un montón de gente.
The citadel of Puca Pucara was like a stronghold, a bastion, controlling the main road, or rather one of the main roads, in and out of Cusco. And of course, where there's a tourist attraction is also the typical tourist vendors.
Get the other rock.
And there's a baby llama with blue eyes.
Mira, ojos azules tiene.
At Tambo Machai is where it started hailing on us. Also, this is supposed to be a bath of the Incas. Water in those water channels comes in from the mountain through underground tunnels that nobody has really found the origin of. The monument of Kenko, which in the old Indian language known as Quechua, Kenko means zigzag. And we will see the reason for that in just a little while. Down in the tunnel, apparently there was a certain time of day when the sun would shine right through these cracks, or one of these cracks, and would illuminate the tunnel down here. Well, somewhere along this top of the rock are some channels, or a channel made in a zigzag form, therefore the name. Okay, here's a zigzag rock. And apparently what would happen is that llamas would get sacrificed somewhere around here. The blood would flow down the zigzag channel, and then down a little further where it would split into two separate channels. And apparently that was used by the priests to divine and make predictions for the year to come. An evening of folkloric music at the Inti Raymi Theater in Cusco. Don't go expecting anything very professional. These are all university students performing. So let's see what they have to offer.